All right, so it's been a while since I've been here to talk to you guys. Well, let me see. I might need to type this. It should look a lot better now. Yeah. Okay. Wow. But I was back. Well, I'm coming back to talk about what's happened to my family and me since Hurricane Ida took our house. Um, it took out five out of the six rooms that we had in our house. So the structure is not salvageable. Our house actually has to be demolished, which means we lose everything. Um, and everything that we had in that house, in those rooms, was completely and utterly destroyed. So we're having to basically start over from scratch. It's tough, and the insurance company has been like, helpful at times and not helpful at others. So we're still dealing with them trying to get all of our coverages, and I don't even know. Like it's going to be a tough process, but in the meantime, on the good side of things, I have gone forward with launching my brand Harmony Perfumes. In my hand, I'm holding a bottle of Odin Sleep. This is a $200 bottle that is 100 milliliters. So it would probably last you an entire year, maybe even longer, depending on how often you wear perfumes. I say an entire year if you wear it daily. So, but in the previous months since the last time I did live streams on here, I migrated to Instagram and I found a community of people that were very expressive and open and communicative. And they spoke a lot with me. Um Wait, live chat, all messages available. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So if anybody wants to chat, I can see what you're saying now. But I had moved to Instagram, so if you guys want to find me, my Instagram, my IG is Noel Trill. It's Noeltrill. And you will find everything about my brand on there. I mean, I post on there almost daily, and I try to keep it very up to date. I did take a hiatus or kind of like deviate from my normal posts during the hurricane and everything that came after, because it was my only method of communication. I apologize if the page looks a little like chaotic because of that. But if you go beyond the IDA stuff, you'll find everything nicely organized. And after the IDA stuff, everything is nicely organized. Um, and we're still taking donations. If anybody wants to send anything in, it would really help during the holiday season if we could have a good Christmas for my daughter. Um, and I just mean like get some things like Christmas lights, decorations, a Christmas tree. It's not even necessarily about getting the gifts. It's about like having a picture of her that we can look back on years from now that makes this year not the worst year of our entire life. Um, so if anybody wants to help with that, just reach out and contact me, and I'd be so grateful and thankful for it. So the tree took out my chemicals. It took out everything that we had. Um, I was able to salvage some chemicals. The ones that I wasn't able to salvage, I took out of my savings that I had to get them again so that I could get business back up and going because that's our livelihood. So, um, which it isn't that expensive as the amount of profit you stand to gain. So I felt like that was a necessary thing to do at the time. Um, but we're not struggling, homeless, and poor, which is how we felt after Ida hit because we didn't even know what our next move was. Um, it really felt like we had nothing else to do with our life after that because it was like everything was gone. Like, what do we do? How do we even come back to life? Um, but the insurance company has us in a house. It's a very nice house. We actually got to choose the house, and then we had to argue with them to pay and let us stay at this place instead of letting them pick their own that we didn't want to go to. So this was a friend of my wife, Shelby. and this is her house, and we're basically going to be staying in it until something happens with our situation. Um, the best case scenario for us at this moment would be to afford to demolish the house, and we demolish it and then we sell the lot. With the money that we make from selling the lot, we'd be able to start a new mortgage on a different house. In the process, our credit scores might go down though because of everything that Ida did to us. So we'd be looking at a worse mortgage by then, unless by some, great miracle we boost our credit scores between now and that day. Um, so you get a better percentage whenever you have a better credit score, and you qualify for better funding. You could get I mean, you could go up a whole bracket, um, and get a better house. So it's really a matter of having a good credit score. Things that I never paid attention to when I was in school, but have to pay attention to them now. You know. Like I was gonna say, I've been geared and focusing on my brand, Harmony Perfumes. And to any of my friends from Mongolia that are watching this, my fans from back in the day, I have not given up on Mongolia. I still throat sing all the time. I still sing many Mongolian songs in the shower. I'm actually gonna be releasing three, definitely two, but I'm thinking about a third one. Fragrances from Mongolia. Um, I have been in touch with a few Mongolian perfumers before the pandemic. I spoke with them on Facebook, and they gave me some ideas, some ingredients that would be valuable to Mongolian people that I could put in my fragrances, because I want to represent the culture. I don't want it to be something that's just like a metaphor, then it smells random. I want it to actually smell like parts of Mongolia. And I haven't been there. It's still my dream to go there. But with everything that happened in my life, it's going to be a while before I can do that. But hopefully, I get my brand going. I start getting traffic and I start getting income. And then I can take trips around the world and, come up with a new fragrance when I get back home. So it'd be awesome to go to Mongolia, throat sing with a bunch of people, go in the grasslands, I don't know, sleep in a gur, try different foods, experience the life that Genghis Khan or Chinggis Khan and all of his people lived many many years ago. Because all of my fragrances are seated in history. I don't make current stuff. You know, the most current fragrance that I made is one called Busa, but I'm actually gonna probably change the name of it and call it Jamaica. Jamaica is the original name that Jamaica had, and it was the language of the Tainto people that called it that. So I'm thinking about changing that, and I may list Busa in the history or the inspiration or steps, but I think Busa is not big enough of a term for that fragrance because it has timber silk in it, and timber silk is part of the Isoe super family, which automatically makes it go up on a list of like where this perfume stands against other ones. It has ISOE Super in it, so it's like that moves it ahead of to the forefront. The only thing that would be ahead of that would be Oud, you know. So, but so far I have decided to rework my second generation fragrances. That is Poseidon, Iktomi, Equinox, um, Kione. What was the other one? Oh, Genghis. Genghis was one of those too. Genghis needs to be reworked. Those were my first iterations of working with aroma chemicals, and after I made my third generation scents, they made my second generation scents look like trash, and I have to go back and like redo some of them. Iktomi and Equinox and Kione might be able to stay as they are, but I'm thinking like I could make them better than they are now. Because all of my first tier fragrances, Generation One, that's Labuse, Wallowa, Spartacus, Castle Black, Loki, Odin, Qingxi, Diao Chan, um, Odin Sleep, sorry, and who am I missing? Iron Bend, uh, I'm missing somebody. Oh my God. There's supposed to be like 10 to 12 of these. And I'm missing like three. Which three did I forget? Oh, Walawa. Walawa. How could I forget? And Ianari. Ianari, of course. How did I forget Ianari? Wow. And Busa was the last one, but Busa's kind of like the step between Generation 1 and Generation 2. So I'm gonna be probably reworking that and calling it Jamaica afterwards. Um, well, technically, I already reworked Busa, and it's good as is now. Um, but I think I'm gonna move it from Generation 1 to Generation 2, because once I reworked it, I added some stuff that would have classified it as Generation 2. Generation 2 is whenever I got deeper into my perfume chemistry studies. And I really started digging deep into mixing aroma chemicals, synthetics with natural ingredients. And that was Generation 2. So a lot of things in there were like my first trial and error projects. And they smelled okay, they smelled great. Some of them smelled unique and different, but like Generation 3 made me feel like I was a world class perfumer whenever I was done making those. Like I have brought these to people and tried them right next to famous fragrances, and people have picked mine over them, not knowing, because I mean I had it to where like they were in the same bottles like this, like without a sticker on either one. And I knew the one in my right hand was mine. I knew the one in my left hand was a popular fragrance. I'm not gonna say names. Um, just leading brand and Harmony, and most people picked Harmony. The ones that didn't picked it because they didn't like a note that was in it, not because it didn't smell like greater or stronger. Like they even admitted that this smelled stronger, but they weren't attracted to that particular fragrance. So it wasn't like to say, this is weak, this is cheap, this is better or richer. It was like, so at that point, it was like I felt like I did something amazing. Um, and Primal and Cleopatra just they're going to break the market once people get their hands on it. I'm telling you, I know they will. And I have the formula for those. All of my formulas survived the hurricane because I have them backed up on digital accounts. Um, but Primal and Cleopatra are going to be a little more expensive than the other bottles. The 100 milliliter of those is going to be 300 or 350. I'm still in debate on which one of those I want to settle on, because they have a tremendous amount of ingredients in them, and they take a lot of time to create and make, and they are absolutely unique. And there's nothing like either one of them on this market to this day. Not even in a niche house, not even in an indie perfumer house, can you find something that offers what these two fragrances does. So, but obviously I'll have like the travel, not the travel, the what is it, the sample discovery kits, and I still have a selection of rollers that I need to get rid of. So I'll probably sell 10 milliliters of different fragrances along the way. Because I have it on stock, and I want to do something with these random rollers somehow. I don't know. Maybe I'll make some type of thing in the rollers, like an essential oil vibe or something. I don't know. I gotta try to make as much money as I can right now for the family, for our house, for us moving forward. Um, but that probably serves good for checking in right now. My daughter now has books. She has clothes. Um, we didn't get food stamps or anything like that we thought we were gonna get. Um, like we were supposed to get disaster relief food stamps. We never got that. Just different things that could have helped us, like FEMA, that didn't help us either. Um, so it's rough, but we're hanging in there. We haven't given up hope. I'm hoping to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm probably gonna see about getting us a roast, and I don't know. Hopefully, Shelby's job gives her a turkey or something. Because I work from home. I design websites whenever I'm not doing perfumery. Um, so like I don't have a boss that's gonna give me a turkey or something. People just contract me. Um, but as I said, most of my funds are going towards trying to get this house demolished so that we can sell the lot. Now, if any of you know anybody that would buy a lot with a damaged house on it as is, let me know. But other than that, we're just trying to keep our head afloat, stay above water, focus on positive things, and we've been getting along a lot better than we were right after the hurricane. That was a stressful moment for everybody. Like it was rough, and mentally it was rough and taxing on my wife because the insurance company wasn't responding, or they were being useless, or they were like they sent us a person who hadn't even done an inspection before as our inspector. And then they sent another guy out 2 weeks later, and then we had two inspections done, and they ended up firing somebody over it. Like it was crazy. But in the process of all that, my wife didn't have any answers. And not having answers about that kind of stuff, whenever you don't know how you're moving forward, is scary. So it was really rough. Like it was a rough patch for us because she was having some very dark thoughts during that time, like not knowing what's coming next, feeling like you've lost everything and you're still in postpartum. You just had a baby a year ago. You guys could imagine what it was like. And I had basically went rogue on AWOL, missing in action on social media during that time because it was a lot to deal with. But we've made it through that mountain, and now we're able to move forward. So that's all for today. I'm gonna sign out of here. You guys have a good night. Look forward to the Harmony website coming out. Should be out by Monday. And if any of you are interested in my fragrances or want to purchase them, you can contact me to get them directly from me. I use Venmo and PayPal. I have a registered LLC. There's an invoice that will be sent to you. And I have to track all of this for taxing purposes. So contact me and just let me know. My Instagram again is Noel Trill. Noeltrill. Thank you. Have a good night. Um, all right. Yes.